Carmelo Anthony. Yep, that Saturday deadline came and went, and he exercised the early termination option on the final year of his contract. And, like, you know, he's going to stay in Oklahoma City. And he's going to earn about $28 million. It doesn't mean anything because he doesn't have to go into this free agent class. By the way, he had a lot of weird Graham posts over the weekend. He put up a number of career worsts, by the way, in his first season out in OKC. Averaged under 20 a game for his first time. Shot 40% from the field. They were a lot of sort of haters come at me type posts, which I didn't really understand because you just got $28 million for the year. It's a bad deal. It seems like a bad deal all around for the Thunder, but let's not focus on that. What other bad deals are lurking out there?
Well, it's going to be interesting because on the surface, when you see Carmelo Anthony's deal, you probably feel like, man, that's an albatross. They stuck with it. But then when you look around the league, there are some situations that didn't end so pleasant. Like Hassan Whiteside, for example. Yep. He has a big number in Miami. That didn't end so well at the end of the season. What's going to happen with Nicholas Batum and his deal with the Hornets?
What deal is Chris Paul going to get from somebody?
Chris Paul is going to get a maximum contract from the Houston Rockets.
How's that going to look at the end of it?
Exactly.
Well, when he's, 36, 37, they're going to be paying him 38, 40, 43 type million.
Right.
And so that's going to be interesting for a team that prides itself on analytics and trying to make sure that they do a good job of
trying to get in that body issue, huh?
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Jalen is ambidextrous. He listens with both ears.
Well,
or not at all with either.
Your earpiece should be on this side.
Okay, either way, let me ask you a question. This happens in baseball all the time. We have this conversation constantly. Guys sign 10-year deals because the way the system is structured in baseball, they don't get to, through all of they don't get to get their big contract until they're at a much older age, and so they sign these 10-year deals, and guys like Albert Pujols are making $1 trillion when they're 40, and teams know they're going to live with that at the end. They sign these contracts knowing they're going to look terrible at the end. Is this a thing now in the NBA? Do teams sign contracts knowing they're going to look bad at the end?
Major difference. No salary cap in baseball.
Right.
That's why we don't talk about how much money they make.
So it doesn't cripple a team. It just looks bad, and they maybe don't like paying it, but it doesn't actually impact their ability. It doesn't have to impact their ability to do other things.
Melo's at a key point of his career. Here's why. I hope as a volume scorer, as a future Hall of Famer, he ages gracefully in the NBA and don't go down kicking and screaming like Allen Iverson did. Because remember, once he got traded initially from Philly, then he went to Denver. Then he ended up in Memphis. He didn't want to come off the bench behind Mike Conley. That didn't work out. He ended up in Detroit. And I probably had a series of teams wrong, but to the point of Melo's still a productive player. I think he can add some value in the locker room as being a veteran. He handles himself with class. He is a scorer that can get you 15 points in a quarter. He can take over a game if needed. But to me, on a contending team, he's not your starting four.
You know, your favorite team of all time is the Bad Boys Pistons?
Yes.
What's the name? The Microwave mean anything to you?
Yes.
That's who Carmelo Anthony could be on a great team right now, right? Just someone who comes in and just puts a bunch of points on the board for you in a short period of time when you need to give other guys. I completely agree with you. But he would be great in that.
Correct.
role.
But here's what the part I mean about the kicking and screaming part. And I never was the level of player of a Carmelo Anthony. But here's the thing. Aging gracefully is something. And so I saw the posts, a few of them that you talked about.
Yeah, it didn't seem like you're headed that way.
Those are I'm rich posts. Those ain't necessarily like I'm really productive still at basketball.
But we know you're rich.
What your guys used to seeing me be.
I think he's responding to all these people who are like, I can't believe you're getting all this money. And he's like, all right.
But that's what, when you say you hope he does, ages gracefully, when I see posts like that, it would tell me that I don't think that's the road that you're headed down.
Well, it starts from the neck up, Beads. And it started when he initially got traded to OKC. He was at the press conference, and somebody asked him, did he want to come off the bench?
Correct. I know.
It was a joke.
It was a big deal, I thought.
And then at the end of the season, let's book in this. He was unhappy about his role.
Yeah.
And so now going into this season, he's not going to be happy playing a reduced role.
Well, okay, look, maybe they can figure this thing out. They have to now. You're stuck with him one way or the other. He did have one of the worst seasons of his to date anyways. The team was eliminated in the first round. He is on an oddly wonderful list here as far as names are concerned, not for the title. 24.1 career scoring average. It's the fourth highest among players that have never gone to the finals, and that's Gervin, Wilkins, and Maravich. It's an oddly sexy list for not a good accomplishment.
Pistol P used to work here.